Okay, we're going to record this one and post it for better quality. The quality that you've come to deserve here on the Blanco Lirio channel is best the quality as you can with a cell phone. The ultra rare Luscombe Phantom is on downwind now to land in front of us here on the grass runway. So let's flip this thing around. We're here at the casual gathering of Luscombes and other aircraft at Columbia, California. And today, right now on base, is the number 2, the only other flying Luscombe Phantom in the world today. Hopefully he'll give us a flyby first, but it looks like he's setting up for landing. This other really cool Waco just showed up biplane too. Jim Rollison Jr. and Jim Rollison. And Scout, what engine are we looking at in this Phantom, you think? 145 Warner. All right. Very, very rare. Now watch the tricky, how well he handles the tricky handling characteristics of this Luscombe Phantom. And the grass runway helps too. Okay, quiet. Fast. He likes that speed. Woo, hot. That's a hot little rod. Good, good job. And there's where it gets squirrely.
Both Phantoms on the ground, Columbia, California. Still number 1.
Number 1 and the only other one flying. And then what's the status of the rest of the Phantoms in the world today? Kevin Eldridge is building one.
His is coming together.
And we got, what, 2 in the Midwest?
2 in the Midwest. At the Anderson Aviation's doing 2 of them. And the 6th one has been destroyed into pieces. But first time you've seen 2 in public right here.
All right, let's go take a closer look at them.
Columbia, California.
That's right. Gathering of Luscombes 2021. Let's go take a closer look. All right, one-of-a-kind Mullicoop. A 985 powered monocoupe. I don't know if you can see that from here. Super, super fast. Hopefully, look at that stubby wing. Wow. This is like, say again? 28 feet. 985 powered monocoupe experimental. Holy smokes. Stearman flyby. Ah, yeah. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh man. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, that's a 220 mile an hour, 230 mile an hour airplane. 4,000 foot per minute rate of climb you can get out of that thing with a 985 powered monocoupe. Wow. You can hear that prop from here as he pushes it in for what I think is going to be a landing. Now get that, yeah, that Cessna right there. Get some traffic waiting here. I hear it popping. With these short wings, he's going to be landing fast. Oh, did you say he's got some custom Fowler flaps on this?
I think so. They're once they built into it.
We don't need much of that. Good. Good job. Wow. Let's go take a look at these airplanes. Yeah. Holy smokes. Heart in mouth, huh? On a grass strip.
Yeah.
Here it is, the Luscombe Phantom, Warner Scarab, 145 horsepower radial engine, fixed pitch prop, awkward landing gear. It's got the two parallel tubes working this way that are very difficult to keep aligned, and then later on in development, the gear was stiffened with this brace right here, and so they had to notch it through the wing strut to stiffen up the gear design. Engine oil right there. Just beautiful work. 1935 or so vintage. You can see the Luscombe monocoque style fuselage, and like we discussed before, if it looks a lot like a monocoupe, well, it does, because Don Luscombe came from the monocoupe factory and came up with this design, basically a metallized version, or his vision of a metallized version of a monocoupe, and called it the Phantom in the 1930s. And Jimmy's giving me permission to look on inside of here and look at that. Like most of these, just a big blind radial engine kind of flying operation, and so you spend a lot of your time looking out the side of your window right out here to get your runway alignment. If the runway if the edge of the runway is going away from you, you're veering to the right. If the edge of the runway is coming closer to you, you're veering to the left. So 2 seats side by side with sticks, rudder pedals and brakes only on the pilot side. I suspect that's your elevator trim up there. Or it could be the... Well, no, I think that's probably the flaps, and that's the trim right there. This one was a super deluxe model Phantom with all the bells and whistles, including detachable doors, seat pans that you could wear parachutes with this particular aircraft with. Now look at that, he's got flaps over here. We'll have to ask him what that hand crank in the back is all about. One of 2 flying Phantoms today. Serial number 1 is right over there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And this aircraft here is the Luscombe Model 4. So when Don Luscombe had the, I don't know if you call it limited success, but after the Phantom and the complexity of construction of the Phantom design, he needed to simplify the design and came up with the Model 4. But that still had a radial engine. This one has a 90 horse Warner Scarab engine, I believe, and is the predecessor, of course, to the Model 8, which they've sold thousands of. We'll go over and look at serial number 1 here in a minute. So this is an experimental aircraft powered by a Pratt & Whitney 985 450 horse Pratt & Whitney engine, and it's loosely based on a monocoupe design, but completely, I think it's completely home built, scratch built, or only parts and pieces of a monocoupe. I'm not sure, but what a beast. A 985 in a monocoupe style airframe weighing about 2,000 pounds, pulls it along well north of 200 miles an hour and 4,000 feet per minute. Just short, stubby wings, racing, 1930s racing style. And in the 30s, these racing aircraft were the state of the art. The Army Air Force had a lot of catching up to do compared to what the racers were doing back in the day. This thing is an absolute beast.
Yeah, that's a 2.
Again, just a big blind cockpit, throttle on the left, 2 sticks side by side. 450 horse radial engine. Wow. When you see this thing go, come on in, guys, get that picture. You can really hear it coming. Man.
Let me know when you pause.
And here it is, the other Luscombe Phantom. You saw this on the live view, but now a little better quality here on the recorded. Serial number 1, Luscombe Phantom, restored by Rick Atkins of Ragtime Aero here in Placerville, California. Just an exquisite restoration. Again, 145 horse Warner Scarab engine. And that famous squirrely Luscombe landing gear. Rick spent a lot of time and effort trying to get that sorted out, straightened out. Very recognizable cowling design on these. And Scott was pointing out some interesting details. What did you think's going on here, Scott?
Well, I don't know if that's stock. The other one doesn't have that. It's like a part of the skylight and windshield.
Yeah.
It's 2 segmented pieces. And,
really beautiful details.
Well, there's a lot of effort on this. Of course, it's brand new, but
I mean, look at the details on all the fairings of this.
Take a look at the gear.
Oh yeah, what were you saying about the NACA studies on? You found the NACA studies on the aerodynamic.
But this is really, this is above and beyond right here. When
Yeah.
you're making fairings for a streamlined flying wire.
Yeah.
Putting a lot of effort into it.
And look how the inside of the.
Yeah, these were like in the 30s before they adopted a lot of the retractable gear systems. They were looking for ways to fare in fixed gear on most of the military planes and racing and all that, and they did all these studies, what was the best one, tail end fairings, fully faired, inboard, and of course the fully faired ones were the best, and these were probably a close third. At least it's something.
And then, as we discussed earlier, they needed to brace this kind of wonky landing gear, so they added this brace later on and notched that into there.
Right?
Well, it was stock aftermarket, stock afterthought. This isn't a relief tube. That's actually the suction for the instruments, right there, right in your venturi.
Every intersection is faired.
Yes.
Some sort of curved.
And all of that is because you're working against this flat plate cooling drag area of this round engine. So it's kind of counterproductive, but
I think the biggest advances in speed would be was cooling drag for sure. They were just discovering all that stuff.
And how this area works behind here for cooling drag was critical too.
Yep.
And look at that beautiful interior of that thing, just amazing. Again, a big blind panel. Again, you're looking mostly out the left to right. As a pilot, you're steering. You're looking out the left side of your window there for your peripheral vision for your landings and takeoffs. 2 sticks side by side, and just a beautiful fit and finish. Fuel gauges up in the wings there. Hey, what's going on? You got the Renaissance aircraft back?
Yeah.
We got to see that. Yeah. What? Yeah, I was out there skidding. That was so fun skidding on that grass today.
Yeah.
So tell us again about your Renaissance. You've got one of the few Renaissance aircraft Luscombes, right?
The only one?
The only one.
Only one.
Wow. And so what engine do you have in yours?
It's a 320.
Oh, 320. And the 3-bladed Cato propeller. Wow. And so what kind of performance you get out of that?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's got 180 horsepower. It'll cruise about 130, 140.
Man.
Pulled back 2,700. It'll fly at V&E.
Yeah.
But I don't fly it that hard.
Yeah. What kind of rate of climb do you realize?
2,000 feet.
Holy
Comfortable.
smokes,
Yeah.
2,000 feet per minute.
Yeah, at 90 miles an hour.
Huh.
So I climb at 100 miles an hour and get about 1,200 feet comfortably.
The Renaissance, and what year was that Renaissance Luscombe built?
1999.
99, the one and the only one.
Yeah.
Well, what about the one that Gavin has now? That's
a new Luscombe.
okay, so that was after Renaissance, new Luscombe. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll be making Luscombes brand new today.
We really do hope so.
Yeah.
You know?
And where'd you end up
This
parking?
thing here?
Yeah. Where'd you end up parking down there?
A little bit about,
Okay.
I don't know, call it 4 or 5 airplanes over.
Good. We got to come back and check that out.
This is a gorgeous machine.
The restoration on this.
Stunning.
A couple more details is so you got these fairly long ailerons in here, all the way to, well, yeah, all the way to there, and then you've got this split flap arrangement. And the stock aircraft had these split flaps nearly all the way out to the ends of the ailerons, which must have been not very good for the directional control. So they split the flaps right here. So this split flap lowers, this one remains fixed, but still looks like it's still there for authenticity reasons. Just fit and finish, fairings, details like this in the 30s, just incredible. The Luscombe Phantom serial number 1. The only 2 flying Luscombes in the world are right here at Columbia, California, and the Luscombe Model 4. Okay, somebody was asking what's the oldest airplane on the field here today, and we think it's this 1932 Waco IBA. We looked at it briefly the other weekend at Eagle's Nest, but Scott here was pointing out some. Get up there and show us what
so really
some
unusual.
interesting features.
First, a Waco with a side-by-side cockpit, which was the B designation, I think the guy said.
IBA, I for Kenner.
Yeah, Waco did this 3-letter designation, engine, fuselage, wings, I believe. So anyway, 2 cockpit doors, side-by-side fuselage, which was really weird. And you look, it looks just like an old Model T or a Model A or something. But the interesting note he told me, on the left and right sides of the cockpit, the big tractor levers there is the throttle. So fore and aft is throttle, standard, but the brakes are pulling it inward. You can see a little slot for it to move there.
You pull that
and you pull
lever
that to the
in.
right, and the left one to the, very towards the center of the cockpit to apply brakes. And if you look at the pedals, there's nothing. It was just 4 rudder pedals down there. So really weird.
So, and you think it's like a Spitfire where you would get
I
differential braking. If you had left rudder, you would get more left
Correct.
brake.
I think so. For one thing, he didn't say specifically. I'm surmising that because I can't not imagine not having just straight brakes on a tail wheel. I just don't see how you could do it.
Yeah, boy, it's like
But I'd have to verify.
you drive it like a tractor.
I know.
Wow.
It's pretty weird. I asked the guy. He had to learn how to fly it. It was just bizarre, for him. Very strange.
1932 Waco IBA Kenner radial powered biplane.
Old machine. Baggage area on the front, the triangular.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Where a front cockpit might reside at some point.
Barnstormer specials, these Wacos were. All right, that's Columbia 2021. Let's go get a burger, Scott. Say goodbye. Turn around. Say goodbye.